Yeah. All right. I'll tell you when we're gonna go. How I usually start off the podcast is we usually like karaoke a song. Is there a song you want to sing? We're just kidding. We're live. What up, David? You're fucking here, bro.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate you being here, man.
Of course.
It's been a while, and I had seen you at the New Year's party. Was that this year?
No, that was last year.
No way.
Yeah.
What were you really? What was I
Yeah.
doing this New Year's, dude? Fuck, you don't know. Why the fuck would you know? I don't know. Oh, I know exactly what we were doing, and it was not badass. It was like pizza party in here, me and Kenzie, and I think she was playing Zelda, and I was playing Assassin's Creed or something. So we go to Mike D's the night before, and so it's hard for us to rally something 2 nights in a row, you know, because she's like a glass of wine a night type gal, and I'm fucking not anything right now. So it's you know, so 2 nights in a row is a lot to ask.
Yeah.
Socially, and we were cruising, and then all of a sudden we were like, oh fuck, it's 11 o'clock.
I think once you get a little bit older, that starts to happen where you put too much pressure on one night and seeing how like it's gonna pan out, and time starts to kind of run out, and then you're like, oh my god, like we got to do something, right? It's New Year's, or it's
Oh shit,
whatever
yo,
time.
subscription. I love you, Ego. Sorry, you keep going. That just means somebody's paying $5 a month for
That's
to
awesome.
help. Like, yeah, they get free art.
Oh,
so,
okay, cool.
I didn't explain that to you. So, yes, to finish the thought, it's getting fucking harder and harder to make yourself do things socially. However, I have noticed that it's harder to kind of spontaneously go and do things socially, but I'm much prone, like when people come and it's great because I can have 1 million people on, but now that I'm having guests over and I have 2 hours to create or better the connection between me and the guest. Yeah. Now I'm more prone to like this Saturday, shout out Chance. I have a buddy Chance who I would have never had, not because I wouldn't have gone, but wouldn't have even known that he has an art show. But we were talking about it on stream a month ago. And now this Saturday, I feel obligated to go fucking check it out. The same way, like, if you had a fucking fitness competition or something, it's like, dude, I had him on. Like, he did something for me. Like, I got to go support him. You know, you showed up and supported me. So it's kind of, this podcast makes it easier for me to be more engaged socially, you know, because now there's more on the line. Now it's me fulfilling my end of the bargain, you know, not just showing up to the bar to have beers because a beer's a beer, but now it's I got to show up because they supported me and they came through, and I appreciate that, and I want to support them and what they do. So,
which is a better use of your time too. It's like when you have connections where you want to go and support someone and you want to be there for them, and then it turns into a good time, cool. But then there's like those other obligations where you're like, well, I haven't been out in a long time. Like, I need to go out, and that's usually not as fulfilling.
Do you still feel that? Do you still feel those pressures? Like, if you haven't gone out in a while, you have to rewire that shit as a sober dude.
Yeah, I think for me now, it's a lot more about the time with my friends, and I think sometimes that can be clouded with like, oh, well, time with your friends means you got to go out and get crazy, and you got to go out to, you know, a bar and have some drinks, and that's like quality time. But now I'm starting to kind of get to the point where I'm like, quality time is just being there for one another and being present and you know, getting to know each other instead of like yelling in each other's ears or being wasted, and just having those moments. Like, it's the other moments that matter a lot more too. I
couldn't agree with you more. Especially, I would say even more so for you now, right? So let me introduce David, since we didn't already do so. David is a fucking fitness freak. I don't know if the camera's doing a good enough job, but that's not a wide angle lens on the camera. He is that fucking wide. David's huge. You were a skinny dude when I first met you. Yeah. So between then and now, just for scale, how much weight have you put on? How much muscle weight have you put on since you played guitar in Southern Lights?
So that's kind of a tricky question. So I don't think I had any muscle weight. I've done like the DEXA scans, but it's always like a different like phases in my fitness journey, because I'm always changing shit. You're always kind of like, like, oh, I want to try this, and then I want to try this, and I want to see how this works. So a lot of it has been experimenting.
As soon as you said DEXA scan, I realized that I am out of my fucking element, dude. That's a much more complicated question than just, oh, I've put on this amount of weight, huh?
Yeah. So I guess to put it into like a simpler perspective, I would probably say that when I was like, at my smallest, I mean, given I was still like pretty young, when I was in that band, I think like my weight was probably at like 160 some, and now like my leanest weight is like at 175.
Oh, okay. So it's not that much.
Yeah,
on a scale.
It never happens like that. Usually when people think like bodybuilder, they think of like these like freaks or fitness enthusiasts. They think of what they see on Instagram, and when you're doing something naturally, there's limitations, and it does take time. It does take consistency, and it's I wish it was that easy, man, to just like put on like, like next thing you know, like 20 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
Like, you have all those people telling you like, oh, this person put on like 30 pounds of muscle in like 6 weeks, and they're just trying to sell you something, man.
That shit doesn't happen, right?
No, not naturally, at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's a couple things I wanted to note to that. Number one, it's people don't realize that the bodybuilder thing, that's years caked onto years of muscle. It's like you take your year one body and you build your year two body on top of your year one body, and so forth.
Yeah.
Like that. It's not like you're fucking skinny hanging out on the couch and all of a sudden like you put a fucking bike pump in your mouth and blow up your muscles to however big you want them to be. It's like you're like constantly chiseling away, and that's how you end up being as big as you are. Do you have plans on getting any bigger than that?
No. Actually right now I am focusing more on strength and longevity. So I've done the whole like bodybuilder thing where like I was super into that stuff. Like I was super into oh, what are these guys doing? Like, oh, it's attainable, right? Like it's something that I can get to. Like if I just, one of these days I'm going to be like 230 and with abs,
Yeah.
And the more that I dipped into that, the more I started to understand really, these guys do put in a lot of work, and I can't take that away from the dedication that they have to their craft. But it gets to a point where they made the decision to
scoot that mic up a little bit closer to your face, or scoot up to the mic closer to your face. I just want to make sure that you're loud and clear.
Shimmy.
Yeah.
It's where they get to the point where they need to compete, so they need to take the next step, and usually that involves some sort of anabolics, and that's something I can't get into.
Yeah, for sure. Is there people in the dark corners of the gym that are like, hey man, hey, what's up? I see you working hard, but you're looking a little skinny, brother. I got something in this briefcase that could help you out. Like, I've been watching a lot of Sopranos, so I could be fucking wrong, but
so at my gym, which is you think it wouldn't be common, right? But yeah, man, all the time, just most people assume that I'm on some sort of something, which
why is that?
I don't know. I think it's because, I worked hard consistently for so long, and I've attained a healthy, natural-looking physique that to somebody who, is an average gym goer and doesn't have the time to take it as seriously as I have, I think it's easy for them to kind of just like, oh, he's using cheat codes,
It's easy to dismiss. I'm so glad you said that. That's the way it seems to be. It's way easier than to admit defeat and be like, hey, this person just fucking works 10 times harder than I do in a year, in a week. Then be like, oh, he must be, he's got this fucking thing, and I got fucking this going on. How the fuck, like people, especially in the gym world, man, I feel like, number one, everybody's looking for a quick way, like a 10-minute ab workout.
Yeah.
Like where you get the fucking washboard abs by buying a fucking VHS tape.
Yeah.
One. And number two, I can't imagine the frustration of you, because I see it on your Instagram of how hard you're working to be written off as a steroid user. That's got to be fucking frustrating for you.
I think at first it was, and then the more that I started just kind of focusing on like what I was doing and knowing that I'm doing the best that I can do, and it could have gone very much in that direction, but at the end of the day, it's like I know that I'm doing myself a service by staying away from that stuff. And if somebody else wants to kind of take that away from me, it's like you can't take away something that I know is true.
For sure.
Yeah.
But who the fuck would like even put you in a position where like would need to defend your own physique? In what world would you need steroids to prove yourself? Like, that sounds so like crazy, right? Because what is that? So let's start from the beginning, because maybe I don't even know. What does steroids do for you? Like, what is, in essence, what is an anabolic steroid?
So an anabolic steroid, usually they have all these sorts of different functions, and I really haven't read into much of it.
You shouldn't. It was a trick question. Good for you. He's not a steroid user, motherfuckers. No, what? Okay, better question. What are some? 1 second. Let's adjust the chat. So we got I right up there on the board. See the chat?
Yeah.
See where it's blown up. So this is where people will tune in. Like this right here, Lucifer is a guy. T, if you're still in here, what's up? But people will chime in with their comments, and you can feel free to address them, swear them out, tell them that they don't know, do they even lift, whatever you feel like you need to do. If someone thought I was on the roids and it would be a compliment, like you think I'm that jack, like I have to be using straight to my ego. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been in that position. So I would say that I work out.
Yeah.
But this is my ideal physique right now. I think I'm like 178. I could probably be a little bit bigger in the back and the shoulders. Yeah. But I'm much more into like, and maybe there's a better dictionary term for this, but like functionality. Yeah. Like I like being like nimble, like Bruce Lee physique. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I like that I can like run a certain amount of distance, bike a certain amount of distance, pull myself up, a lot of body weight, functionality shit. I don't know if that's, I used to try to get jacked, but I don't like that look, dude. I don't like where you can start to like kind of see it in your jowls, because you're just caking on the cat. Yeah. Does that make sense?
No, that makes complete sense. And I think that's, for me, it was finding a balance between the two. Like I remember just starting out, I didn't know that, stuff took time and patience, and I thought, I'd get it all quick, and I was hitting it super hard at the gym. I was eating what I thought was healthy food. Like I was literally eating unseasoned chicken, brown rice, like everything by the book, right? Like everything everyone tells you, and I started seeing myself kind of get skinnier and skinnier, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I feel like, I'm getting shredded, but when am I going to get bigger? And, I realized that burning myself out that way and not eating enough, and I've just found out that there's so many moving parts to it and so many directions you can take it, and it's not just hit it super hard and eat your chicken and veggies, Yeah. It just depends on what you're going for, right? So there's a lot of really good YouTubers out there, natural YouTubers that...
Hit some shout outs right now. Shout out name some YouTube channels.
So I actually just kind of float around. Yeah. So I'll kind of take like one video from one person. I'll take another video from another person. I don't really have like a favorite.
But that's what you should do. Like in life is everybody like, a good example is the Joe Rogan podcast. Like there's a lot of people, I meet a lot of people who are like, oh, you like Joe Rogan? Me too. I love hunting. I love weed. I love mushrooms. I love this. And it's like they do the whole thing. And I think, although I really enjoy the Joe Rogan podcast, I think it's important that you take things that you like from all kinds of podcasts, and things that you don't necessarily agree with. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like you shouldn't just like be like a one-man show. You know what I'm saying? I think that your method of finding information on YouTube is more beneficial in the long run. Taking like imagine you like a sponge, and you should just be good soaking up like all of the puddles, instead of just like soaking up one and like, cause there's a ton of fucking information out there.
Yeah. And that's what's hard, right? It's like you said, like the Joe Rogan, example, I've watched his podcast and I'll kind of just like start one and I'll start listening to it. And if his guest isn't really like someone I can relate to in any way, like I'll watch a lot of it, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, what am I here for? What do I want to get out of this? I don't have to agree with everything a person says just because I like them.
You shouldn't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. That's the problem with that's where the state of, and I don't want to get into it because honestly, I don't know enough about it because I don't really give a shit, but that's kind of the state of politics, right? Is everybody just kind of signs up Republican or Democrat and does whatever the fuck that party tells them to do. And it's fucking stupid. It's called partisanship. Like you're just like part of the team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Republicans, they're fucking defending the shooting. Well, we got to defend the fucking shooting. But it's really problematic. I think, especially in the year 2019, where information has never been more accessible, we need to be doing our part in accessing that information.
It's all there.
Yeah.
Like it's all there. And I agree with you on that. Like I there's been a lot of times where people ask me the question like, oh, like, what do you think about this? Or what do you like you have to, that I have to swing one direction in every topic that comes up, and I think it's more complicated than that, and it should be. And it takes time. It takes time to, like, even when it comes to fitness, like I'm still learning every day. I by no means like feel like I'm good enough to tell anybody like straight up, like, this is the only way to do it. This is the only way that you can get this. There's too many moving parts, and that applies to so many things. And I think it's very easy for us to just kind of like, stick to a group or a person that was like, okay, well, I like what he's telling me, so I'm just going to stick to whatever he says, or I stick to whatever they say. And
for sure, which is a form of mentorship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is a sense of like, well, I look up to a lot of what this dude's doing. And like, fake it till you make it, just follow suit, and take what you like from that person, but maybe fill in those gaps where
apply it to yourself.
Yeah. Apply it to yourself. Yeah. Be fucking David Valencia. You know what I'm saying? Don't be fucking, I don't want to be, I don't want to be Joe Rogan, cause Joe Rogan's already got a podcast. I want to be Andrew Olin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's interesting you say that. So with that mentality in mind, when people sign up for your like if you get a personal trainer, is there the philosophy in your training with that person like, hey, I'm just going to tell you everything I know from my best expertise? Like, how do you go about your personal training with that philosophy in mind? With
that philosophy, it kind of takes a lot of patience, one, because you're dealing with people. Two, it's kind of checking yourself whenever you're being stubborn to your own ways. Like for me, like I've discovered that, it really is simple, right? There is one way that you could do something and get your results and like gain your strength, gain your size, and also still have endurance. And there's like, it's at the end of the day, it's science, right? So there is a right way to do it. The reason that everybody complicates it is because people are not that simple. Like, we do not want to do the same thing every day. We don't want to eat the same thing every day. We don't want to hear the same thing every day. So I take into account the person's goals, but I also take into account what's going to make this fun for them. What are they somebody who's like me, where they're like, okay, I figured out what works, so I'm going to just stick to that. And I'm totally cool with like, just giving up anything that I have to do it, but not everyone's like that.
That's you?
That's me. Yeah.
What works for you?
So, what I discovered is I just do like full body every day. So generally I'll go in and I'll just do the full, I'll do like my strict press, I'll do my bench, I'll do my deadlift, and I'll do my squat. And I do it every day. Every day I'm in the gym. That's what I do. I do low reps and high volume. So I'm kind of like trying to build strength right now. And I know that in the process, work is the amount of, like, work in the gym is the amount of volume that you move during a given time, right? Like the amount of weight that you move during a given time. So for me, it's very calculated. It's like, it's boring, you know?
Yeah.
But I know that it's going to give me results. I know that it's going to get me stronger. I know that it's going to keep me in a physique space that I want to be at. And I know that it works with how I eat, how I rest, and all that stuff.
And how do you eat?
So right now, I just make sure that I'm eating as many carbs as I can throughout the day.
Carbs?
Yeah. Make sure that I'm getting my protein in. And then fats, I just limit as much as I can, because I know that that's something that I struggle with keeping in check. So for me, it's very much by the book of everything that I've learned, you know. But for the average person, it's like you got to make things more interesting than that.
For sure.
Yeah. And you know,
it's so funny you say that you know what works for you, because I feel like an idiot when I go to the gym. So my gym regimen right now is I ride my bike to work every day.
Yeah.
And if I feel like not going to the gym, I don't go to the gym. I go on a bike ride, or I'll go on a jog. And then the next day I'll go to the gym and I'll fuck my legs up on the bike. However, I do demand like a certain amount of work from myself every lunch break. Yeah. So no matter what I do, I expect to feel a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So like, just because I'm not going to the gym that day, like, and I'm going on a bike ride, well, you better go make it count. Go put 10 miles in on the bike or something like that. But today I went to the gym, and I got to the gym, and instead of like, so the whole time I've been going to the gym since like I was 21, I'm 28 now. I have never done legs on Tuesday, arms on Wednesday, chest on Thursday, back on Friday, do squats before the weekend. I go into the gym, and it's like a fucking science lab for me. I'm like, oh, you know what? But I'm feeling kind of loose in my abs, so like, let's do some ab work, and then let's go do some shoulders, and then every time I walk in the gym, I seriously just go in.
However you're feeling.
Well, listening to my body.
Yeah.
You know, just listening to how you shouldn't work on your legs today, man. You're still tired from biking. Okay, for sure. So let's do arms. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I think that because of that, I have increased my interest in the gym, you know, because it's not really like a hard set Bible to what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm getting the results I need. My goal in the gym is to make up time for the 10 years of smoking cigarettes in my life. That's what I want out of the gym. Yeah. Because I think I don't eat bad enough. Like right now, my diet is, I just started making green smoothies today. Yeah. Today was my first one. No way. Yeah. And it was fucking, you know, I have been trying to eat healthy for so long that it was fucking awesome. You know, you get used to eating like hemp seed granola bar, you know, like fucking raw almonds, all that shit. I've been doing that kind of shit for so long that now these things taste fucking awesome. So like blending kale and spinach with an almond milk, unsweetened even, you know, with a couple pieces of fruit, raw ginger in there and a couple mint leaves. And I kind of always avoided it because like the thought of blended greens was kind of like weird to me. Yeah. And I tried it, and I think the taste coexisted with all of the dietary work I've been doing over the years. It was great, dude. It was just like this really light, healthy. Do you drink a green smoothie?
So yeah. So all the thing about me is that I might not be lazy in the gym, but I'm very lazy about, you know, going out and figuring out new ways to keep my food interesting, because at the end of the day, it's like I like the basics. You
eat like a scientist, from what I can tell. It's like you need this much protein, you need this, you need carbs, so you'll eat this much.
Yeah, so
you're not in the cookbook.
It started as like, you know, you're counting your calories and like all that stuff, and then I just kind of got used to like feeling out how much I need throughout the day, you know. Yeah. So I had a good base for that.
Uh-huh.
But there were times, you know, while I was figuring it out, where I was like, no, I want to have something that tastes delicious, or I want to figure out ways to make things that are going to get me excited about this.
Seasoning, bro. Do you season your food?
Yeah.
Okay, ever since I started seasoning my food, it's been fucking... And I used to not. I used to eat everything, like, raw, but cooked, but raw. Like, I could fucking just, like, steam broccolis and, like, a little bit of salt and pepper, and I could eat it. But I really tried to start fucking with the seasoning cabinet now, and it's fucking... It takes it to a new level.
So that's as far as I got.
Salt and pepper?
No, so seasoning, right?
Yeah.
Is just like you just change up the seasonings and all this stuff, and
for sure.
And you're surprised at how enjoyable these simple foods or organic foods can be.
For sure.
Whole foods can be, as long as you're willing to kind of just learn the basics, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to be a chef. You don't have to like.
Not at all.
Yeah, you don't have to like go all hard and like figuring out like everything there is to know about nutrition. It's just like, you know what's good, you know what's bad. Whole food's good. Fast food, greasy, oily foods, like.
But take yourself out for a fast food little thing
for sure.
every once in a while.
I had In-N-Out last night.
Yeah, and but that's good for the soul. I really do believe that there's a reward system embedded in our bodies where, like, you got to fucking do that. I was really hard on myself. So I've taken down some of the cards. You were commenting on the cards up on my corkboard, but those ones are easy, but they used to be really strict. And like, so in this whole journey of me getting sober, I brought it up now every fucking podcast now, but I was getting up at like 5:15, meditating, like doing all these things that are supposed to make me a happier person. But because of the strict schedule, I was becoming way less happy with myself. So it was like this amount of food, this, and it was fucking, and it was, and if anything, it made me realize how important it is to fucking reward yourself every once in a while. Don't take life too fucking seriously, because we are fucking only here for once.
And don't take the gym too seriously.
Yeah, no. And
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, for sure. Well, how did you get hurt?
Yeah, so I actually, when I started, I was like, oh, because, you know, I had an experience with drugs and all that stuff as well.
Yeah.
I, you know, went through a really bad phase in my life, and fitness was my way out.
You appreciate the choir here, brother. This is the podcast for it. I don't know how many times I gotta say I was into blow on this fucking thing, but I might make it a decal up here.
So yeah, man. So I didn't take my time to do the research, and I thought, you know, like, I'm just gonna go hit it as hard as I can, and just I was addicted to the feeling of getting out of there and feeling like a normal person, like. Again, you know?
Oh, okay. Because you didn't feel like a normal person on the regular?
Well, I cut everything out. Like, I went from one day to the next. I decided I'm not going to mess with anything, like, period.
Drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, alcohol didn't go that easy.
Yeah. Well, it's fun to do socially, you know?
Yeah. I mean, now, obviously, I'm older and I understand, you know, the responsibility side of it, like have fun and be responsible.
Yeah, you just got older.
I just got older.
Up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I started doing like all the fitness stuff, I started going super hard, started thinking like, you know, I'm going to better myself. And this is key right now, because I feel better mentally. I feel better physically, until I didn't. So I got up one morning, didn't do my research, so I wasn't eating well enough. I was spending way too much time at the gym just because it was my escape, you know. I was having a blast there, and I got up one morning and I could barely move. I was like, oh my God, why I feel so, like, not just sore. It's like my whole body was just like, I felt like I got hit by a train. And I was like, what's going on? Like, this is like fucking weird.
Not so, like, beyond
pain.
Oh, like
tenderness,
like nervous system is
done
doing something weird.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Like to the touch, man. Like pain to the touch.
Wow.
So I went
throughout your whole body.
Throughout my whole body. So I went to the bathroom. I had to pee. Just red, like a dark red. So I was like, I'm peeing blood. I have to be. What else could it be?
It was dark red?
dark red, dude.
Holy smokes, yo.
So yeah, I freaked out.
Yeah, I'm freaking out.
I freaked out and I didn't know what was going on. I was like, oh my God, you know what? I'm sure I just worked out too hard. Like that was my fucking diagnosis to myself was you worked out too hard, man. Like just rest a couple days.
Eat a chicken breast and get 8 hours of sleep.
And you're okay. So this lasted for about a week, man. And now, you
were pissing red for a week?
I was pissing red for a week.
Did you tell anybody?
Yeah, so I was at my sister's house, and I just remember I went to use the bathroom. I'm like, oh, I'm still pissing red. And she was like, what? Like, David, like, that's not okay. Like, you need to go to the doctor. I was like, no, I'm, like, starting to feel a little bit better. I think it's just going to go away. And, yeah, dude, I didn't do anything about it. And then finally, like, I wised up and did my research on it, and it turns out that it was rhabdo. So it's like rhabdomyolysis, I think the word is. So pretty much what happens is like I found out this is really common in CrossFit athletes.
Really?
Yeah. So they'll be getting super competitive with one another. So they'll they'll push beyond their limits, which they think is like just it's badass and it's what they're meant to do. And they end up in the hospital for this. Right. And I was just at home, just kind of like trying to coast through it and I didn't go to the gym. That's all I did. That was like my treatment to myself. Looking back, I'm a complete idiot. So dude, it turns out, so it's like pretty much you overwork yourself. Your muscle protein pretty much starts to like deteriorate and gets in your bloodstream, and I guess it's super like bad for your kidneys. Yeah. And dude, I learned my lesson. I realized like, man, like I need to be smarter about this. And
it went away?
Yeah, it went away.
Oh, you're lucky. Went away.
Yeah. I got lucky because a lot of people end up having to like, sit in the hospital, get monitored, and even sometimes like get some type of surgery, and
Ooh.
So
you get any signs of the rhabdo ever since?
No.
Good for you.
I wised up, and I, like you said, I listened to my body, and I think that's something that a lot of people try and promote. A lot of people, especially that are maybe not being honest about the fact that they're enhanced and these rules don't apply to them anymore. Like you really do have to be careful. You have to make sure you are reading yourself and your body, and you're taking rest is just as important as the work you put in the gym.
People don't get that, man.
No.
People do not want to rest, which I appreciate the grind. There's an aspect to that I appreciate, because I think that, I don't know what it is. I think people are scared of the lost momentum, which I understand, because it's easy not to go to the gym. It's really fucking easy. And giving yourself, when you're kicking your ass in the gym every day and you give yourself a day off, I think that same reward system part of your brain goes, oh, okay, motherfucker, putting your feet up, huh? Getting lazy. Okay, whatever. Yeah. It's your body. It's your body, because it's kind of a weird obsession thing, going to the gym every day for really no particular reason, right? People are going to the gym not because we got to go hop in a fucking boat and go fight Vikings like across the country, so we need to be fucking big. We're kind of just getting big for no reason, and I think it's like there's a little psychological part of that that's maybe a little like, I don't know, maybe a little obsessive. I don't know.
Too much.
Yeah, just something a little weird. And I think that once you get tuned into that wavelength with yourself, I think when you take the day off, your body responds to it kind of, I don't know, like, oh, okay, you want to, like, you don't need your fix today, huh? Okay, for sure. Well, don't go to the gym. Don't go. And it's kind of a, like, I personally don't, I got about a day and a half of rest day, and then my brain tends to be like, sitting around, huh? Just gonna fucking sit around? Like,
yeah.
Like, it's just that little chirp in your head. The same thing that gets you to the gym every day. Everybody's got a little chirp in their head that makes them put on their shoes and shit,
I think it's easy to to try and think to yourself like that, like there is balance in life, you know. People will tell you, oh, there's no balance, you know. There is, and I think sometimes it takes some hard lessons for us to get to that balance, right?
It doesn't got to be rhabdo.
It doesn't have to be rhabdo, but if you want, no, I'm kidding. I'm not. Don't get rhabdo.
Well, the plan is healthy lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
It's not just beat your fucking ass in the gym and eat some like pretty healthy food. It's, you know, have the gym should be a complement to your entire 24 hours a day, right?
Yeah.
It is like you should be resting well. You know, you should be eating right. You know, you should be working out your mind too.
Yeah.
It's just as important as working yourself out physically. You know, you should be taking an hour out of your day to maybe run some emotional inventory on yourself, you know. And, oh shit. Oh, King McFly, my subscriptions are renewing today. Yo, I appreciate you. That's another $5. That's the fucking long lost drum track. I did that so I couldn't
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So I couldn't get my fucking thing pulled. Yeah, I was. So do you know Athlean X?
Yeah.
Okay, so that dude, and you might be able to comment on this. He says that I don't know the science, but your testosterone, which is present in both males and females, right?
Yeah.
Is depleted after about 50 minutes. And after 15 minutes of workout, you're kind of just burning oil that doesn't exist in your tank, if you will. You know, like after 50 minutes, you're kind of just, you know, and that's of lifting.
Yeah.
So if you're lifting for more than 50 minutes and like lifting, and see, that's strange because thinking that like I can play volleyball for like 5 hours, you know, is that different than what he's talking about?
So cardio is a different
animal. A different animal, right?
Yeah. It's something that you could do every day. Right?
Yeah.
It's something that you could do every day that actually helps your endurance.
And should do every day.
Yeah. If you could do it every day, yeah, of course.
There's different ways to do cardio. I think that
keep it interesting.
Well, yeah, that's the most important part is like I ran and set some goals, man. It's like running without direction is kind of fucking whatever. I signed up for a 5K because it kind of made it like interesting. Like there was going to be a payoff.
An end goal.
Yeah, to running. And then once I was done with the 5K, I was like, all right. And then I went and bought my bike, you know, off Craigslist. And now like I'm riding a bike and shit. You should always be trying to like, I don't know. It's crazy, right? Because what was I saying today? That like, I was saying that anything that's worth fighting for, there's got to be there's a fight required to anything worth fighting for. You know what I'm saying? So we all want to live these super healthy and fucking lives, you know, these fucking Vibrance commercials where like fucking walking down the street and fucking butterflies are flying through and that's happiness. But you got to make sure cardio is one of the most important things that you could do for yourself mentally. You know what I'm saying?
That too. Yeah. You gotta make sure that how you're doing it is really for longevity and not just to just go beat yourself up hoping that you'll look good for the summer. It's like, it's not about that. It's really about like for me, it's I have a passion for it. So for me, I'm going to go and I'm going to get all like sciencey and weird about it and almost give myself more, or I guess less realistic goals than the average person. But
like what are some of your goals?
So my goal right now is I want to try and do a powerlifting meet sometime next year.
Sick.
So that's
exactly. Now I got to go. I'm so glad you said that. Now we got to go for sure.
So right now I'm focusing on strength and I'm doing my research and I'm doing it for a purpose that is very much fitness oriented.
Yes, got it. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
You're a strike two, but you nailed it.
So, you know, but that's me.
Yeah,
that's me. The average person wants to go move around, have their you know, their quick workout to where they have their endorphins and they feel good. Be smart about it, but at the end of the day, it's like you're right. Like if it takes you getting a bike to go out and do your cardio, go do it. Don't let it be this thing that's like, every single day you go and you hit the Stairmaster because you feel like you have to. You know, it doesn't.
Why is
have
everybody
to be,
up on the fucking Stairmaster? What is that? I've done it once and I was like, let's talk boring, dude. Let's try walking up stairs that don't take you anywhere for fucking
exactly
10 minutes. That's big though.
Yeah.
Is that a big like butt blaster fucking thing or some shit? Like, why is everybody up on that?
It just burns a lot of calories, man. Like you burn the most calories doing anything with your legs, and you're mixing in cardio with it. So
have you ever rode a road bike before? That shit is party. I guarantee anybody who rode like
time ago.
If anybody rode like a real nice road bike, you're not running anymore. It's too much fucking fun. You're going like, me and Christian were bombing a hill in Redondo the other day. We got up to 33 miles an hour.
No way. Holy shit.
On bicycles.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Dude, we were jamming. Dude. And Christian's a psycho, so he pulls it out of you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like you get to a certain like speed where like the wind is just like not gonna let you go faster. So you're just like tucking in as fucking fast. You're on like wheels that look like pizza cutters. You know what I'm saying? Like one wrong move and you were dead, dude.
Toast.
You're toast. Yeah, but it's important that you fall in love with, you know, if
with the process,
with everything about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think the gym is great, but I think the gym should be a tool. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that
one of the tools.
Yeah, I don't think that everybody's fitness, and it's different. Like your goals, you need the gym, so it's different. I mean, on the general scale, I think that the gym should be utilized as something that's like, oh, the weather sucks today. Let's go hit the gym. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you got a fucked up ankle. Let's go to the gym and do some upper body stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think it's important that, you know, we still need vitamin C. We're fucking animals in essence. You know what I'm saying? What's the most natural to us is running around trying not to get eaten by tigers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Go fucking run from the tiger a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I really do believe that does something for your soul. I think the same way when you forget your phone in the car and you're at the movies and you're kind of like, oh man, this is kind of nice being disconnected from my phone and shit. I think human beings, there's little moments like forgetting your phone and not having your phone for 6 hours or whatever it is, or running and doing little things that taps back into who we were, you know, thousands of years ago. And that sits natural with us. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, sitting under the fluorescent lights, listening to the fucking Black Eyed Peas, trying to fucking deadlift every single day, I think that's fucking epic if you got goals like David Valencia, but not everybody's a fucking David.
If you're passionate about that, right?
Yeah. So don't make yourself do it.
Yeah, don't make yourself do all that stuff that you, like somebody comes up to you and tells you, hey, yo, dude, like I got an amazing body and I'm having a blast in my life because I started, you know, committing to the gym in this way. This is how you got to do it. It's like, no, it's you find what things will keep you interested, what things will keep you active in the best way possible, where you won't get burnt out, you won't get bored. And, you know, I know a lot of people that like will go rock climbing and will, you know, go on the occasional run, or they'll go on bike riding and all that stuff, and find people to do that stuff with, or just do it on your own. Like it doesn't all have to be like, oh, I got to get a trainer. Or, you know, and I'm saying that as a trainer, you know, like it's just,
well, I think that taps back into like, I don't know. There's some people are like, I think they're afraid to take the first step. I think that because great example is my younger brother, Patrick, shout out fucking Patrick. He's been watching, like, I don't know what he's doing, cause he's in St. Louis area, but he hits me up and he's like, hey man, I want to get big. So do I just like start eating and going to the gym and stuff? And I was like, whoa, like, hold on. There's no way I can answer that like today in this conversation. Couple of things, like number one, like remove all negative. It's like, what color should we paint the room? It's like, bro, the room's a fucking mess. Let's clean it first. Yeah. And then we'll paint the room. Like number one, I sent him a book on by John Joseph, the Cro-Mags. I'm fucking obsessed with it. Positive mental attitude. I'm like, first of all, read the book. Get your fucking self situated, because everybody who's in the gym, they got, you know, they're not going home to McDonald's and fucking, you know, sedentary lifestyle with fucking country music blaring on the porch and cigarettes and this and that. You need to be like, again, and I think that if people understood the gym as a tool and not something that's just going to pull you out of the ditch, I think that you wouldn't have to explain this. But one of the things I was trying to tell him is like, listen, man, like in order for you, if you really want to be big, and again, you know better than anybody that you don't just show up to the gym a couple days a week and get quote unquote big. Like this is hard. It's a science. And there's people who dedicate their whole lives, Ronnie Coleman, Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's people out there who dedicate their shit to be that fucking big. You know what I'm saying? So first thing, let's get this shit squared away upstairs. Stop eating fucking fast food. Stop drinking energy drinks. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. And, you know, I think that goes to speak on that you have to, I don't really remember where I was going with it, but we were talking about how you need to change your entire environment in order to fall in love with the gym, in order for this to exist. Don't do something that you know is going to be short-lived. Pat, I love you, but you've never lifted a weight before. You know what I'm saying? You're going to go to the gym and you're going to be over it the same way you were over it 27 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Let's make all the calculations so that we have a math problem that the answer to that math problem, the product of that addition problem is you being big. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's set the equation so that it ends up in your favor. You know what I'm saying? And I think that there's a big misconception with people that you're just going to fucking, you know, eat only chicken and just like all of a sudden go to the gym and lift weights, get big.
Doesn't have to be all that, you know, like it's
and there's fun things you can do, man. You could be in the best shape of your life. I have a lot of people who I know that got into fucking like at the gym, started doing kickboxing. And they're like, well, fuck this. I want to do kickboxing. Fuck the gym. You know, the gym's just weight.
That's funny you say that. One of my buddies is actually gonna teach me how to box. So he does MMA stuff.
You're gonna get smaller because you work.
You
work your ass off.
Cardio, right?
You work your ass off. In box.
Yeah. So I'm gonna dabble in that a little bit. And
you like boxing? Like, do you watch the fights and shit?
No. So I just recently started kind of like discovering that I do, which I think is ridiculous.
You watching Deontay Wilder or any of those fights?
No.
There's a big fight that just happened. Huge upset.
Yeah?
Yeah, the heavyweight champion of the world right now is a Mexican for the first time in fucking
ever.
No,
yeah, I did see that.
You saw that knockout?
What's his name?
Ruiz.
Ruiz, yes.
Yeah, Ruiz Jr.
Yeah. So I watched the highlights of that, and I've also just kind of been like digging into like just watching knockout videos and just like, you know, little things to get myself excited for. But the real reason I'm doing it is because I want to find a way to get my cardio in. That's exciting.
That's exactly what we were just talking about. I can't believe you didn't fucking bring that up.
That's all it is.
That's a perfect example of what we were just talking about. Because it's hard to fucking pull yourself up and I'm going to run today, you know? And when's the last time like you went running? Do you run?
No.
See,
I've been doing a lot of walking lately, and it's just been kind of like I realize that I'm a very anxious person, and I've always kind of been like stubborn with myself about a lot of things, and that's one of them. It's like, okay, look, dude, you're an anxious person. Like, you need to find a way to gather your thoughts and like
meditate a little bit.
Yeah. So I've been walking a lot. I used to run as a kid whenever I'd like be going through something. I just like, I live on a hill, like a really big hill in San Pedro.
Do some hill sprints.
So I'd just do some hill sprints.
Damn, you're a savage.
Yeah. So I would just do hill sprints and all this stuff. And then I started realizing, man, I hate running. Like now,
I don't think anybody does like running. I think that people like what running running definitely like has an ability to tap you into this primal part of yourself. You know what I'm saying? I was telling somebody the other day that every time I go running, I hear the and like you kind of fucking can tap into this like, yeah, motherfucker, this is a Nike commercial today, son.
Yeah.
You know, and that part's cool. Running's not fun, but what's great about running, and one of the most useful tools I think I've found out in my adult life happened practicing for the 5K. I would run and I'm in pain, you know, like you've just been running, and I'd stop and I'd run, and then I'd stop and I'd run. Dude, I was like, I'm just going to keep fucking running. I'm just going to keep fucking running. Just keep my feet moving. And then I got fucking like 30 seconds past that part. I'm still running, and it doesn't hurt so much anymore. And I'm like, holy fuck.
That second win.
The pain goes away. The pain goes away. So now anytime I would run, bike ride, anything, I know it now. I know that it's not going to hurt. You know, once I get to the top of the hill, I don't have to get off my bike and fucking sit there and be like, whew, that was a gnarly hill. Like, I know in my head that, like, I'm going to keep pedaling because, you know, I'm not only doing uphill. You know, I'm going to get to a downhill eventually.
Yeah.
And this shit's going to feel better. And ever since I've done that, man, like, everything, my volleyball games, my running, my biking, I do everything. My working on the podcast when I'm cutting footage and shit, everything gets easier. Even if you're at a part where you're like, man, this is fucking shitty. And it wasn't until I was running that I was able to realize that, man.
I actually when I started my fitness journey, that's something that I did was a lot of like treadmill. Mm-hmm. But so I'd put it on full incline and I'd freaking sprint, like must have been on like 9 or 10 every time I went in.
You're gnarly.
And I'd just go for, and I was overweight at the time too. I would go for like 30 minutes straight. And I remember that same feeling where you're just kind of like, you're running and it's hurting in your quads or like
you're running
on fire.
10 miles an hour uphill for 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a psycho.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I mean, I lost 40 pounds in like a couple months.
Good for you. When was this?
This was like shortly after I decided to like go cold turkey on everything. I started, you're really skinny because you're not taking care of yourself. And then next thing you know, you blow up.
Yeah.
Because all you're doing is eating.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, I put on a lot of weight. I was not in the best shape. And I just decided I'm going to go for a whole week. I'm going to go to the gym.
What's the heaviest you've ever been?
The heaviest I've ever been is like 205.
Dude, I got the 215.
No way.
Yeah, I was 19. I used to sit around with my ex-girlfriend and eat fucking pasta. Like an idiot. It was the dumbest thing, but yeah, it was huge.
Dude, I used to make these so, you know, like what's the Pillsbury Doughboy, like
my favorite things in the world?
Yeah.
God.
So
yeah, I know you're talking the croissants or the biscuits.
The biscuits. So I would make the biscuits, but what I would do is I would put like mozzarella cheese in them, and I would make pizza. Like I would bake pizza into the biscuits.
Oh yeah.
And I'd sit there and like, my whole like diet consisted.
Were you stoned while you were doing it?
No.
Oh, that
my
helps.
whole diet consisted of just like that type of shit.
Oh fuck. You know what I used to do? I used to get the croissants. I used to cut hot dogs in half and roll hot dogs up into the croissants.
Pigs in a blanket?
And pigs in a motherfucking blanket,
my God, dude.
With a little bit of ketchup. I'm a
fucking
psycho.
love those.
I could have racked up lines of it. It was so good. But it's so bad for you though. It's, you know, and that's what's so fun is it's, you know, that food's not going anywhere. Yeah. I'm a vegetarian now, so I can't have hot dogs anymore.
Oh, okay.
It's not that I can't. I just don't.
You don't.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about this podcast unless you want to, but pretty much I just fucking same way I was like, dude, drugs and alcohol are fucking kind of shitty. I was just kind of like, dude, these fucking farms where fucking animals are dying are kind of shitty, dude. Yeah. And that's all it is. That's all it is.
Yeah. My brother's vegetarian for the
really?
same reason.
It's easy to do. It's not too hard to do.
He went hunting. That's what did it for him.
Oh.
He went hunting and he couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle it. And
was he Was he shooting? See, that's the thing about bow hunting is like, that's the thing about people. So to bring up Rogan again, Rogan is like, yo, these factory farms are kind of fucked up. But he believes that if you go out there and hunt and kill it with your own hands and get the perspective of taking the life yourself,
I think I watched that
then
one.
you can then, you know, as you're eating it, you have the respect behind each bite is like, man, like this thing, like was in the wild, you know, and apparently these animals die themselves all the time out there. But yeah, man, I just fuck, dude. I'm not fucking hunting. You know? I'm not a fucking hunter, bro. And you know, my mom's a hippie from the beach over here, dude. I'm not fucking hunting. And I've been in like 0.5 fights, 0.15 fights my entire life. I'm not like a go blast animal type guy. In 2019, it's so easy to be vegetarian and get all the protein. Like I still do cage free eggs.
Oh, okay.
That's like my thing. But I try to get like eggs from like nomadic hippie chickens, like just cruising. And the way I sort it out mentally is they're gonna be laying eggs anyways. You know what I'm saying? Might as well like do it if I can like pick it from a farm that like the chickens are cruising and they're not like stuffed inside some fucking box with a gun to their head like fucking lay eggs right now. You know, then I don't mind doing it, you know.
I'm very honest with myself as far as like things that I feel like I can stand up for and things that I feel very strongly about and then things that I don't. Yeah. And I think that's just one thing that I just haven't gotten there. And maybe it makes me a little bit of a piece of shit. I don't know.
No.
But I know that I'm being honest with myself.
Dude, you're not a piece of shit. Number one. Number two, I don't know what happened to me. I mean, ask your brother. It's just something happens.
Something happens and that's where
it could have been a bad dream. I think it was my family got a new dog. And it was tiny. It was tiny and he's big. He's my best friend now. His name's Jack. And I think that like seeing him like in this really defenseless position because he had kennel cough when he was young, and I took him to the vet, and I took him for a walk in my arms one day. Yeah. And the next morning he had kennel cough, and I took him to the vet, and he was like coughing and it looked so painful for him. He's the cutest dog ever. And I was sitting there talking to the vet, and I started crying to the vet, explaining to him that I took him for a walk, and now he's got this kennel cough, and I fucking did it to him, and like this and that, and like the vet is looking at me like, yo, like it's just kennel cough, like it's gonna be okay. And I was like, I felt like I fucking hurt this like little fucking this thing that like looked at me and like trusted me and shit, and it fucked me up, man. It fucked me up, and I was just like, you know what, man, like I just ran inventory of and I was like, dude, I don't want to hurt any more things with eyes, man. Like I don't want to be responsible for it. I love the taste of, you know, like BLTs are I fuck with that shit. Yeah. Pepperoni pizza, I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's steakhouses. Come on, man. I used to eat steak rare, like where you could fucking take a katana and chop the fucking cow's leg off, and it would still make a noise. And I would eat that. I would eat that shit. I could eat it extra rare, like raw meat. I loved it. Something happened, dude. And I changed in that vet one day.
I think that's just part of like growing up and finding out the things that are important to you, and sometimes it takes some really serious events for that to happen. And, that's okay. It's part of you becoming who you're meant to become.
Yeah. And maybe that's just the journey, man. But you know what's great about that, positive, and to not even pull it off me, is before that had happened, I had a really lazy diet that consisted of like, okay, let's go chicken breast. I used to bake it in the oven. This was like my go-to. So frozen veggies in a pan, steam that shit. A scoop of butter, maybe some Parmesan cheese, salt and pepper. It's a wrap. Fucking chicken breast in the oven. We got some marinades. Is it going to be the fucking soy ginger marinade or the teriyaki marinade? Always. It was always between those two. And put it in the oven for 375 for an hour. Pull it out. Chicken and veggies. Again, bitch. Yeah. Again. And do it forever. But now that I'm not doing that, I'm forced to like, oh, fuck, like, all right, well, let's do a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Well, I can't just have this fucking bread. And then it's like, well, let's go bread shopping, you know? And now I'm, like, fucking looking for, like, what kinds of breads. And I'm like, dude, now it's, like, grocery shopping.
Well, you're trying new things, too.
Yeah, grocery shopping. Well, that was where I was going, is grocery shopping's fucking, like, it's taken grocery shopping to a whole new level for me. Before it was Amazon Fresh, because I know what I liked. My dad had an account. I used to be like, hey, man, I'm going to touch some dough. Fucking let's get the chicken, let's get that, fucking good to go, send it my way. And now it's like no, because like I don't do that anymore, you know. And now it's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna like, is frozen veggies the way to go? Like, what if we got some like fresh veggies? And like, is it only broccoli that tastes good? Nah, fuck no. I like bell peppers. I like this, like that. And now you're fucking shopping, son. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in doing so, maybe I needed to do that to expand my culinary lifestyle. And listen, man, I'm gonna be in I don't confine myself to anything. I think that there's a huge chance that one day I'll be at some fucking diner somewhere, and it's like, listen, man, this is fucking bacon blessed by the fucking waters of fucking Lake Minnetonka priest. You know, fucking try it. It gives you, whatever. And if that day comes, who knows?
Well, yeah, actually, I was gonna bring that up too. I was like, something one of my buddies told me like not too long ago, and he's like, I tend to be really hard on myself about things, or if I make a commitment to something and it doesn't work out, whatever it may be, like whether it be a job or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he told me something, and it was just like, like I think sometimes we're too fixated on like who we think we're supposed to be or how we think things are supposed to be, or you want to become a certain type of person, or you really want to try and stick to the vision you have of what you want to become. And he's like, dude, life is just not like that. Like, you just gotta like literally float around with the changes, like everything. He might have been high, I don't know.
He's exactly right. In essence, what are we? We're a fucking, we're a developed bacteria on some fucking rock, like, just for the sake of the conversation, there's more stars in the sky than grains of sand on this fucking planet.
Yeah.
Every one of those grains of sand in the sky has a living capacity within the star. Okay, this Earth is within our star, our sun, living capacity. That's why our fucking grass doesn't burn, and it's why our fucking waters aren't ice cubes. That's why our oceans aren't frozen over, and it's why our trees aren't on fire. It's within the living capacity. It's just in the right spot. It's in enough space where we're cool enough, but we're close enough to the sun where we can get a fucking suntan and not combust. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to tell me right now, motherfucker, that in that fucking sky, there's not one more fucking planet within the living capacity around that. Come on, man. Let's be honest about what we are, dude.
Possibilities are just endless, and we are so small to think that we could.
That's why.
That we could have any real involvement in what's supposed to happen, or how things are supposed to end up, or even how our minds are supposed to be developing. Like, at the end of the day, you do have to make good decisions, but a good decision to you right now might be a horrible decision to you down the road. Who knows? It doesn't matter. Just adjust.
Well, people are like, I think that it's easy. There's an argument that it's okay. Well, if there's, if we're so small on this planet, then why not go and fuck yourself off and fucking whatever, man? Because none of it matters. It's like, no, dude, because good decisions today make your existence, which is happening whether you like it or not, it makes it easier. And it makes things better on you. And there's a law of attraction with positive shit. Surrounding yourself with positivity and negativity. There's something to be said about, it seems like, okay, so there's people, we don't have to drop names, but there's some people on fucking social media. They're like, oh, this motherfucker wants to try me again. Come get it, dog. And it just seems like bad things just keep happening to that fucking person. And you're like, man, why? Like, it seems like you're a fucking shit magnet. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly why we make good decisions. You know what I'm saying? Is because it enhances your existence.
I guess the better example would have been not a good decision that's a good decision to you today might not be a good decision to you tomorrow, but even more so the other way around, where you make a good decision today, and even if it doesn't pay off today or tomorrow, you never know, like down the line, like you make the best decisions that you can. You float around and just kind of go with whatever happens to you. You try and, take life as seriously as you can, but you can't control shit. Yeah. That's just it. Like, you can't control shit, so you can't get down on yourself because you can't control shit, because we are such a tiny little part of this world, and life is just so unpredictable, and that's kind of what the beauty of it is, right?
Yeah, it's epic. It's epic that we're a bacteria that developed so high that we can sit in a fucking room in front of these two fucking screens with these fucking things where people, and the guy Straight Ego that commented, he's in fucking New Zealand.
No way.
It's tomorrow over there right now. It's our tomorrow over there right now. So it's like, man, like this whole thing is just so fucking cool.
Yeah.
You know, that we should just be, you know, and I think that once people get that, I think the natural reaction to that is, I think it takes a lot of pressure off of us. I think if people take the time to try and realize that, it takes a tremendous amount of pressure. And it's like, oh, let's just be dope to each other then.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot about pressure because I put a lot of it on myself, and that's something that
I think great people do, though. I think that a lot of people who have a certain level of expectation for themselves, those are, you know, I think that tendency, I think that there's a consistency in people who excel in things. I think that pressure is kind of a byproduct of people with that tendency to need to excel.
Yeah. So yeah, I think there's expectation.
I don't know why I fucking made that way more complicated than it needed to be.
No, you didn't. I think there's just like, there's expectation, and then there's also like, what's the word? There's also kind of like, aspirations, or what do you want to call it? Like,
ambitions?
Ambitions. Yeah. So there's expectation, and then there's ambition. And I think that sometimes we put too many expectations on ourselves. And I think that's what the hard thing is, right? Is separating expectation and ambition.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's something that I know that I fall into a lot, is I have an expectation of how something's supposed to go, try and take control of it, when instead I should have an ambition for it, right? Like I want it to go this way, and I'll do everything that I can to make it go this way. But, you know, there's never any reason to put any extra pressure on yourself, especially when you're trying to make good decisions. It's like things sometimes just don't work out. Things sometimes work out, and you just adjust, you know?
Yeah, and that's exactly why I hide all the fucking stats for this thing. Go look at the fucking thing right here. See how it says hover to view all over those things?
Yeah.
Those are all things where if I clicked, it would say how many people are watching right now, how many people are subscribed, how many views it gets. I don't want to see any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because what it does for my subconscious is not a beautiful thing. What it does is it makes me let down. You know, it'll judge my performance. Oh, what the motherfucker! I had 5 views yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And none of that shit's important, man. It's you got to make room for adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Like, with knowing that your expectations are not always met and you'll have to adjust, you should adjust your life for future adjustments. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't make those things visible, because I would rather just had already adjusted myself to just be happy with what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Take the pressure off of all that statistics shit. I've had guests on here before. Oh, bro, you want to know what you got to do to bump your numbers up, man? If you want the money to come, put an ad right here, and every time they click this shit, you'll get this %. No. I'm not doing that because of that. I'm doing that because, like, I love whatever happens to this podcast. Yeah. But what's important is, dude, I want people to know how fucking rad you are. I want us to have a fucking area where we would never have a situation where me and you could listen to each other for 2 hours. Yeah. Never in a million years. We'd be like, hey, man, you want to come fucking sit in a chair in this room with me and talk? This is a great opportunity for people to just catch up. And that's my only expectation. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the universe rewards that kind of shit. I think that if you just make the right decisions every day, you know, and right decisions and positive decisions. If you just make positive decisions every day and try your best, you know the 4 agreements.
You know what?
I fuck with the 4 agreements.
Yeah, so I'm supposed to read that. Chase, he told me, he's like,
Chasey boy.
He's like, dude, I have this book. He's like, I know, like, life is just, you're going through a lot of changes right now. Like, I want to give you this book and just, like, read it when I'm done, right? He finished it, but he's in Alaska right now.
I have it on audio book.
Oh,
or I'd hook you up.
Well, maybe I should just do that then.
Yeah, you could do that.
But he's gonna give it to me he was gonna give it to me when he got back, and I asked him like, was it like kind of what it was about, but I don't want to get into that. I kind of want to just
dive into
it when I do.
There's a couple things about the 4 agreements. Number one, I think that the 4 agreements themselves are great. Do you know what they are?
No.
Okay, it's the 4. They go into detail, but one, it's these are going to be out of order, but always try your best. Never take things personally. Be impeccable with your word, and I'm missing one. But there's another agreement that's along those lines. But I think that they're very honest. I think that they're very calculated and smart agreements. Apparently there's like a 5th one now. I think the dude knew that the book did really well, and he was like, oh, well, there's one I didn't fucking tell you guys about, and for $12.95, I'll tell you the 5th one. I think they're great. They're read by like the audiobook is read by like a fucking Native American chief, I think, and it's kind of like, it sounds like a big, and there's like a wind whistle in between
so
each
it's
fucking
very
chapter.
relaxing.
Yeah, it's very like relaxing and stuff. Have you read the Are you in a spot mentally right now where like you're looking for kind of some outside, like some mental, I don't know, like some like maybe like to realign your mental guidelines right now? Are you in a space mentally right now?
I think very much so. I think I'm at a point in my life where I'm definitely.
Don't make assumptions, motherfucker. That was the 4th agreement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't make assumptions.
That's a really
solid,
good one. That's a really solid
Dude,
agreement.
They're all fucking good.
I struggle with that one.
Don't make assumptions.
Yeah, I struggle with that one a lot.
Your own worst enemy.
I'm kind of yeah. So that's something that I'm not scared to admit to, because I am proud of the person that I've become in the past couple years, even the past year. But that's one thing that I definitely have a hard time with, because it's very easy to just kind of be like, well, I already know how this is gonna go.
Really?
Yeah, for me. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm very much like that. Like I know how this is gonna end up, or I know how that's gonna go. Like, so it kind of makes me less susceptible to try new things. But I still force
not
myself.
Do another agreement, which is always try your best. Damn, your shit is tangled right now, my brother. We got to get this shit figured out. That's okay.
Well, that's the thing, though, right? It's like I'm discovering a lot about myself that I would have never confronted in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's kind of certain things that that some people go their whole lives and they just don't look themselves in the eye, and they're like, oh, well, maybe you need a little bit of help with this, or maybe you need to like kind of look deeper into this. Like, it may not be a huge deal, and it may not be like as big of a problem, but like I do want to become the best person that I can.
For sure.
And that takes time.
That's exactly why I became sober, bro, because I fucking was just stoned every day. That was the gnarliest thing about the first month, where you're fucking learning who you are, and you're like fucking whining like a little baby when shit doesn't go your way, because you can't, not because you can't smoke a bowl, but things. Dude, by the way, I like wasn't even smoking bowls. I would smoke like a little bit, an addict amount, like a small little bit that was just enough to fuck up a drug test. I don't know what I was doing, but that first month where you're sober, and like
it's rough.
Well, life is just hitting you the way life hits you. And you're, oh man, fuck, dude, I was in tears one day. Dude, I was in tears. I was depressed. I was like in tears. Like,
I went to therapy.
Yeah, I am right there fucking with you.
I went to therapy, but get this, I was in such a, because it's true, man. It's like when you go on so long doing all those things that do really like crazy things to your brain. It's not that you're never going to be normal again. I mean, it really depends. Like, I guess it could get to that point, but I wasn't at that point. I was more at the point where I lost a lot of years in my life. I lost since I was like 15 years old, So
yeah, dude.
Yeah, you missed out on all the years where you're figuring out who you are. And it's really scary to jump into finding yourself when everyone else seems to already have.
But sobriety is a fucking paratrooper way to do it, bro. Cold turkey, you just fucking jump right in that bitch like Band of Brothers, bro. Just all of a sudden you're in fucking the gnarliest Tuesday of your life, bro. And like normal things are happening. You're not sleeping. You're not shitting. You're not fucking like, it's fucking crazy, man. But there, that first step is a great first step because number one, you learn the adjustments that you need to make for yourself. You become honest about who you are. And half the reason why sobriety is so fucking easy for me is because every day I feel like I'm learning more about myself. Yeah. And as I'm setting myself up with physical challenges, 5K, volleyball tournaments, fucking whatever, I am watching myself I spent $100 at Office Depot for that fucking whiteboard and shit. Bro, never in a million years would I would have thought that I'm spending $100 at Office Depot to get my fucking ideas organized and shit, And what's great about it, if I may comment, is on my Instagram, you can see I went sober at the first date I fucked up. I went sober and I was sober, and then I went to my friend's house on November 17th, and that's my actual day I went sober. And he was like, want some tequila? And I was like, yeah, for sure, man. Like, I'll just have a little sip. And I had a little sip, and it ended up just smashing 90 days of sobriety for no reason. I felt like shit. I was like, dude, you didn't even need that. So that's when the day started. But you can see on my Instagram where I became sober. It's fucking crazy, man. It's like black and white bullshit pictures that are happening every so often. Maybe a little bit of a snarky fucking caption. No purpose at all. No purpose. And then as soon as I'm sober, it's art and podcasts. It's crazy, bro. It's like I really,
How many days now?
Well, I had 100. I did 6 months, and is it fucking May 17th? I'm not counting. That's more pressure, and that's fucking whatever. All it is today, man. Today it's yesterday I biked for the first time all the way down there, and I went to the gym today and did upper body. I had a green smoothie for the first time today. That's what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? The fucking sober days are just days that I can facilitate these bike rides and shit.
You're just living your life now.
Yeah, well, dude, look at what we got now. Now we got a podcast, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And if something big happens to you, if you achieve something, you hit me up, yo, Olin, dude. Let me come through, man. I just fucking had this, man. We can fucking talk. Come on, bro. I'll clear out tomorrow. Come through. I mean, now we got a fucking podcast. You know what I'm saying? And this wouldn't be possible. You know what's in that Amazon box right there? That's another motherfucking mic and another camera, bro. We're setting up another chair right there. We're doing 3-way discussions. Me and Chase are thinking about doing sober fucking Sundays or some shit.
Yeah.
Where we come in and just talk about fucking sobriety and shit. I don't know. There's a million things. There's
so many possibilities, and all ideas are good ideas until they're not, right? So you just try anything.
They just adjust. They're
adjustments.
Yeah, they're just adjustments, and it's important that everybody takes the time. If you're out there and you're smoking pot every day, my mom's a hippie. I get it. I think that there's a part of your brain that I could tell you right now that when I dropped LSD for the first time, it really altered my state, and it was the first time in my adult life where I was like, holy shit, we're just this tiny little fucking... I was laying on the ground down at the high school. Me and my friends, we broke into the high school, and I was laying on the ground tripping, and I was laying on the ground like this, and my perception and equilibrium of gravity made me feel like the earth tilted up like that, and I was pushed back against the ground. So gravity was now behind me, and I was standing up, and the universe was displaying the night sky to me and saying, look at how fucking tiny you are, man. Look at this. Just enjoy everything. Yeah. Because this machine is huge, and you are a speck of grease in it. A working part, you're a little part of the grease, but you're just a little part of the grease, man. So enjoy yourself. Yeah. And I think that there is a tendency, with I think that these things can be used therapeutically. Weed, I know that for some people it taps them into a creative state the bitch about weed is that it makes you creative, but it doesn't make you create.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It makes you creative, but you don't fucking create anything. You know what I'm saying? So you might sit there and you, oh, what? That's the riff right there, bro. That's the riff. Okay, record it. What, dude? We're chilling. What are you talking about?
I think I had very much that experience where it was like, oh yeah, I'm like more creative, but nah, that shit made me lazy, dude.
Yeah, and I think that's the fucking, I think it's so fun. I think that's why it's so easy to do everything, because it really makes you pull apart the world piece by piece up here.
Yeah.
You know, it can. But unfortunately, it's...
Depends on the person, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But essentially, it was fucking VR for me. It was just like things were cool up here. I could fucking watch TV in the middle of the day, and maybe I take a nap, maybe I don't. But it's Wall-E, bro. I'm still the fucking huge dude in the chair that's just like fucking wheelchairing around, you know, not just with VR on, you know, and there's no longevity there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think it's harder it was hard for me. One of the hardest things for me was being on social media and seeing myself get surpassed, you know, and I'm like, wait, hold on a second, motherfucker. Like, I think that I'm a pretty talented kid and I'm a pretty do-gooder. It's like, okay, like, what do you got to show for it? Well, oh, fuck, what do I got to show for it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're like, wait, what the fuck did I do for the past 5 years?
Is that what pulled you out of it?
For me, yeah, it wasn't, well, number one, I'm competitive, dude. And I mean, capital C, actually cap locks, competitive, fucking exclamation mark at the end, dude. I'm like, I do not like losing. And like, I'm tiger blood, dude. I get it from my dad. He was like, he grew up on the East Coast. He was like tri-state wrestler. He was a wrestler. And I don't know if you know like work ethic of wrestlers, but it's nuts. Yeah. It's like you starve yourself and go run you get fucking rhabdo.
You do your weight cuts as a profession. All that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you live rhabdo living. You know what I'm saying? And I watched him work like that my whole life. And both my parents are competitive, and they used to like, they can't go on bike rides without like racing each other up the hill back to the house. Like I come from, my mom coached volleyball, my sister plays volleyball, my brother was surfing and stuff, but really good at it. And so I think that because my family seemed so capable, I was always fighting for a position. You know what I'm saying? Fighting for like my fucking what made me, and in doing so now I'm just fucking.
There's something too. It's like
1 second, Derek, let me keep on going with your thought and then we'll address
where you you know, it's good to have that competitive nature, but something that like I've experienced, I don't know if you've experienced this too, is like you almost feel when, you know, especially going through everything we went through, just like you have to play catch up a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's something that is hard to stay away from, right? Like that mindset where you're almost on somebody else's timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made me mad at weed.
Yeah.
it really made me mad at weed, and it's to touch back real quick. I was so competitive that I was watching everything happen around me and me not having anything for it. And in my competitive state, it fucking made me I felt bled out, like, you know, and I just realized how much I'd been bleeding.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now I'm at 10%. I'm like, oh man, like this guy's got this guy's got this. And I fucking want to be happy for him. I want to be happy for everybody busting their ass, you know, but at the time, I didn't even understood what it meant to bust your ass and like work hard on stuff. I mean, you were in bands. I know what it takes to like stay up all night and write music and shit.
Yeah, but that's fun stuff.
Yeah, see, but like, you know what I don't understand is like, there's people out there that would say like, no, that's hard stuff. Like, you guys write songs. That shit's hard. But
oh yeah,
it came naturally for us. But I think that it's just either there's people who can be in bands forever. I knew that I would come to a position. I knew that I would be surpassed as a drummer. Like, I loved playing the drums and stuff, but the things that I loved about a band are the things that I'm able to apply to this podcast. I love the camaraderie. I love the creative output. I love that this is all happening. I'm on my own time. I'm setting my own schedules, like band practices, because I was the drummer, and when I want to fucking practice, it's when I fucking can practice.
Yeah, it's only when the drummer, like when the drummer can, right?
Yeah, for sure. And so I get to do all of those things. I realized that. So I'll cut back to the story. I had realized that I had lost so much time, because if I would have used my time wisely, then
maybe you'd still be in bands and doing all that.
I'd be either that, or I would have just made something happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I fucking was like, man.
But then that's goes back to our other point. It's like, you're just floating, dude, and look at where you're sitting.
That's
right
a
now.
mature stand.
You wouldn't be sitting right there.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Fuck no. And I realize that now, but that's a mature standpoint to look, dude. There's been a lot of emotional growth since that. There was a post, and thank God that the internet is accessible as accessible as it is, because I had some really great sober friends who had been in AA and stuff. Be like, hey man, like, the fuck you worried about, man? You fucking made it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're able to fucking sit here and be like, oh, that was stupid of me. There's people who don't, God forbid, like, did some fucking stupid something, like on a couch, did some stupid drug, and they didn't get to go home. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny about that is that I think about
Derek,
that.
I swear we're going to get to your comment right now.
I think about that all the time, and it's just, sometimes I hear, like, I'll talk to somebody about this, and they'll be like, oh yeah, but don't, like, share that with anyone. It's like, what do you mean? I did one of the hardest things that I could have possibly done in my life, and I did it by myself.
Yeah, for sure. Wait, you mean sobriety? Don't share your sobriety? Dude, fuck that. Dude, you know what's so funny is I have, like, uncles and shit. Shout out Uncle Paul if you see this. I'm sorry. But, dude, when I first started a podcast and it blows up, dude, there's family that are like, yo, man, how do I get to your channel? And I'm like, go search ollenkilledit on YouTube. Like, and I know right now I have not seen them since I've started this podcast. But now they all know that I used to do blow, and now they all know how much I smoke pot. But there's a level of honesty that I have to offer this podcast in order for it to be effective.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's your life is your mistakes are nothing to be ashamed of, because we all go through them. Like, it's all just
shit, bro.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you shouldn't be in, and we're not.
Yeah,
you're
not, and
right? It's something that I am very comfortable talking about, and sometimes that surprises people. Like, I think I get it from my mom. Like, we're both very, like, blunt and honest, and it's just kind of like,
that's a tremendous quality.
Yeah, it's just, we say it like it is, and sometimes there are times where you have to kind of read the situation and this and that. But I think that's an incredible story to be able to share, and it's a big part of who you're becoming. It's part of your story.
Yeah.
And we look at it as wasted time sometimes, because it's hard not to.
Yeah.
But look at how, like, strong our minds are now. Had we not gone through something like that, I'm sure we would have been stuck in a lot of our ways.
Well, look at, you are D fucking dot Valencia underscore fit, dude. You are like a person with your own goals, running your own shit, with your own ideas, with your own fucking, with your own execution of going about these ideas. You have an identity now, man. And that shit, my identity didn't exist. Dude, let me tell you something. When you're in a band, that's an identity, but you're sharing that fucking identity. I mean, you had 2 singers, bro. You had fucking, I mean, you were like in Slipknot type fucking amount of members, man. I mean, that responsibility, that's what's great about being in a band, is you kind of fucking take things in a fifth. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything that you're going through, you're only dealing with a fifth of it. You know what I'm saying? And when you're running your own influencer fucking Instagram, and you're lifting as hard as you fucking are with your own goals, your homies aren't going to be up there helping you lift those fucking weights. You know that you're going to fucking be up there lifting those weights, man. And you know that if you were still fucking making fucking pizza biscuits, there's no fucking way you'd be on that stage, man.
No.
And every day that you work out towards that goal, I'm sure you fucking, you dismiss that shit. People are like, yeah, man, but what about, like, are you going to miss drinking? It's like, miss what, dude? Miss the times when I didn't have a podcast, when I couldn't print. I went to school for graphic design and wasn't making art. Talk about wasted fucking money. Wasted $45,000 fucking dollars. Now it's like, dude, you're guest number 30 now, and that's just ever since I started uploading them to YouTube. There's 30 plus people out there with my fucking art, dude. With my art out there. Dude, my fucking I don't know if you saw the post I did. Fucking shout out motherfucking Lee. Dude, homie from Scotland got a fucking, I did a seagull like in the Let's Get This Bread. Have you seen that? Here, I'll try and pull it up real quick. I gotta show you something. You're gonna fucking crack up. I think I got it right here.
Wait, Deez Reeves.
Oh yeah, answer
steps.
Deez Reeves real quick while I do this.
Baby steps grow into great strides. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. It's a solid move. Okay, check this shit out. Okay, so there's this right here. Let's get this bread. Okay? I just was making art. This is like my first, let's see, when was this? November 19th. Yeah, so this is 2 days after I went sober for the long haul.
Oh, okay? No way.
Yeah, so, but that was just, you could see that I was making art. This is like when it first, October 10th. So,
I've seen that one.
Yeah, so I get this fucking message. My boy right here. Hold up a second, y'all. Hold up. Boom. Right now in Scotland, my fucking seagull is tattooed on somebody.
Wait, is that the friend that you guys would just call Scotland?
No, that's Kevin Scotland. This is his cousin. This is his cousin.
Okay.
Yeah, my fucking seagull, shout out fucking Lee, is out there right now with my fucking art tattooed on him. So when people are
That's
like,
amazing,
yo, man, do you miss it? I'm like, dude, I've like so many things. First of all, not even counting like my sobriety giving me a reason to share tremendous stories. So if every podcast is 2 hours at the least, and I've had 30 plus, that's over 60 hours of conversations I've had with people. 60, that wasn't just stupid, stoned, fucking whatever talk. All the things that have happened since I've been sober are there's no price tag on it. You can, I wouldn't trade those for the fucking year. And dude, I already got July booked. Like, this thing is just fucking going, and there's just going to be more memories, more connections made, more communication, more real conversation.
Yeah.
Like, miss what, bro? And now it's, it's just in full force momentum. And I think that for the first time in my life, when you don't need like a weed hookup or like people to drink with or like something, it really allows you to do things that just, that you want to do, you know, like,
or just be able to like be by yourself and and just relax, enjoy life for what it's meant to be enjoyed, like,
absolutely, dude. It's pretty crazy how when you sober up, you take that leap, you realize how dependent you were on just social situations,
or anything.
Well, I realized that like, and it's fucked up, because you don't want to believe it, but it's like how little you talk to your friends, when you don't need a bong rip or like,
or your family.
Yeah. It's just kind of,
that was a big wake up call for me, man. I'm finally like, like I feel like, man, like I'm just now getting to know people that were always just right around me. you know? It's a big change. And
for me, it was my nieces.
Yeah.
Like 4 little baby nieces, and they think I'm a rock star. Like they think, like I told you, I was like whatever at drums. They think that I'm like the drummer, Neil Peart. They think that I'm like the fucking. They think I'm the answer, and I missed out on a lot of fucking, my niece London, and that's it too. Like when you think wasted time, there's 2 like things that you think about. You think about like the general wasted time, where it's like you just look at a calendar and you're like, okay, well I was fucked up for about 9 years. But like when you like think about intricate like situations, like what fucks me up is like when I think about friends that have lived here and then have moved away.
Yeah.
You know, and like how much you enjoyed being around them or whatever, you know, and now it's like you can only like really like hit them up, and it's like fuck, man, like if I could have gone back, like
it's almost like you're getting to know your friends that were always around you, even even the ones that you know like did go sober, and are living their life now, and or the ones that just you know just kind of partied or whatever, and they were just kind of there, and you were going through your thing. It's like it's crazy, man. Like I find myself having conversations with these people that I'm like that I love, but I didn't realize how much I loved them until now. Like I'm getting to really like dude, like how long have I known you?
Forever. We've known each other for like ever. For like, but like how many times have we hung out?
How many times have we had a conversation that was anywhere close to this?
And never. Ever. And this is what's so great is that now this door is open. You know what I'm saying? And now every time I see you, it's gonna be like, David, what's up, dude? Like, come give me a hug, brother. You know, it's not.
We know
just
what's
like,
really going on.
Yeah, for sure. And it's and that could be, and that's multiplied. You know, and now you can go and exude that energy towards you know the front desk person at the gym, the fucking you know your friends that you always see at the you know you'll never take a moment for granted. You know what I'm saying? But it's. You know, it's not all sunshine. I mean, there's bad days.
It's not all. It's not
like every time I walk.
There's always lessons, man.
Yeah.
There's always lessons, and there's always shit that's gonna go down, and there's always shitty situations and shitty people, whatever. But at the end of the day, when you know that you're working towards growth and that you're growing every day, and you take your lessons and you apply them to your life, like man, it's like life is such a beautiful thing because
it is. Precious to say the least.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing to me in the world is the lessons that are the most accurate are the ones we fucking told before we even know what a lesson is, you know?
Oh yeah, like
it's life is precious.
Like freaking things like one-liners that are super super corny that you see all over Instagram and then the life situation comes where you have to apply it, and you're like, oh, that's why people always say that.
Yeah,
isn't that crazy, man?
Yeah, there's still a million things that like I don't know, but there's still a million things that I need to work on, and that's. But you learn to love. You learn to accept that this whole thing's a progress. And you know what else I've learned, dude, is now I fucking have stopped following all the people on Instagram, the influencers and shit, who act like they got the whole thing dialed down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like the fucking like
the ones that rent Lamborghinis for their Instagram posts.
Not those ones. So I've never had followed that. But what I don't follow anymore is the people who. And I understand. I think there are people out there who need like the oversaturated positivity.
I know exactly where this is going.
You know, like
I'm 100% with you.
Yeah, it's like, dude, nobody has life figured out like.
Or
that.
you have when I started my Instagram and decided I was gonna like focus it on. I don't know if you've seen. I don't post a lot. Like I'll post a lot on my story.
I think I see your stories.
Yeah, my stories. Like I just kind of like. This is what I'm doing today, but I don't hyper focus on that as like a marketing tool and maybe it should be that, right? But I want to let things progress the way that they're supposed to, my life progress the way it's supposed to, and I don't want to force anything down anyone's throat. So
and you're at a beautiful spot right now, and it's like you don't want to disrupt that.
So I do see a lot of people that even that are what do you call them, acquaintances, I guess, and one day they decide, you know, I'm gonna be Instagram famous, so I'm gonna hire a coach that's gonna teach me how to do, you know, marketing on Instagram and all that stuff, and all the power to them. But
that shit exists.
Yeah. So, but the one thing I can't do is exactly what you mentioned, and that's where every single day it's go out there and handle your shit. Life is gonna try and bring you down.
I've done a couple of those posts.
Yeah, but when you're doing it as like
as a marketing strategy,
as your job.
That's whack, yo.
And you're not saying anything that's anything like, so it's different if you're talking about something that's from experience and like, you know.
I used to run, and at the end of my runs, so I started off and being like, I'm going to run the fucking 5K. I'm not a runner. I'm going to turn into a runner. So every day at the end of my fucking run, I'd be running. And I'd be like, that's another fucking one in the books, motherfuckers. Get out there. Go fucking get it. And I'd end it. And then another, and then progressively, and one got real passionate. One was like, you fucking got to keep going with the shit. Blah, blah, blah. But I was running.
But that was for you.
Well, I was trying to uplift people.
Yeah.
People were sending me pictures of their running shoes saying, I guess it's time to go get it, man. And I was like, yes. But I only got like fucking, you know, that's to like.
I guess the better way to
I know
explain
what you're
it
saying.
It's not about like the uplifting part where it's like, you know, like go out and get this workout, right?
Yeah.
Like those little things. But when it's like about like this is what you have to do in your life to like this and that, it's like, are these people really qualified to be telling everyone how to, you know, live their lives?
Yeah, I get that. But
and also the intentions. You got to always think about intentions too.
Yeah, I think that, well, I look back in that, you know, and I'm like, kind of like, dude, what the fuck, you know, like, why are you doing that? But I think it was like a journey.
It was genuine too.
Yeah, it was genuine, but like, I don't know. I think that, I mean, I'm honest, man. I think that there was a part of you where you're like, man, like, I kind of want some recognition. But that attitude, that was like in my get up at 5:15 in the morning, meditate, then go do this. Dude, I got to an emotional breakdown where I like wasn't happy. I was like, dude, I'm doing all this work to go be fucking happy. I fucking feel like shit, man. And it's like, you know what changed? And I've never been happier is I spent so much time trying to be happy that I forgot to just be happy. You know, I forgot to just fucking take a deep breath and be like, hey, man, like, this is fucking great. You know what I'm saying? Like, sleep in 20 minutes. You get up at fucking 6. I do. I get up at 6. It's like, bro, you don't need to meditate every day. Like, go fucking figure it out. Take a deep breath. Go do what you got to do. But it's like,
if you need a day where you need to think, go do it then, you know?
It was
like
somebody else's
that,
idea.
You know? Yeah.
It was somebody else's idea to, like, I read it in a book. Like, yo, what you need to do is you need to meditate. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, now I got to meditate. And, you know, you get to a point where you're like, man, this motherfucker doesn't even know my first name. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
and I don't
guess that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And I think that's you know, it's something that I found myself kind of going to that to those pages or going to those people and being like, man, they seem like they got it really good and like they're really good, like they're in a really good mental place. And then I started kind of like thinking about more of the intentions and you know, but dude, it's crazy. So
I'm with you 100%.
I'm blown away by the amount of like just normal everyday people that will have like 200,000 followers.
Yeah.
They have a platform where 200,000 people are listening to everything that they say every day. So they are preaching things that all these people are watching and taking influence from. I mean, influencers, right? But it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to like, it's like what did it take for you to gain that power?
Booty pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy. Booty pictures.
Yeah.
Booty pictures and like accidental dick pics. Just kidding, dude. I don't fucking know, man. And I think it's bullshit because at the end of the day, like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is 200,000 followers going to do for you? This is what you want. You want advertisement money. That's what you want. You don't give a fuck about 200,000 people.
Yeah.
I can't. I want to, but dude, I have to service everybody the best I can, man. Like, you know, like I get nervous about that. Like I get nervous. Like I sometimes I psych myself out about like, dude, if you like imagine I ran across, so I follow an Instagram page that where they do is they take influencers pictures and show them in like a
unedited
in a tagged photo that's unedited, you know, and it's fucking great. But I went to the chick's profile and she has 9 million followers. Bro, what the fuck? How the fuck do you address 9 million people, man? Like, I don't even know. I'll tell you what, man. I just want the South Bay. That's what I want, dude. I want the South Bay. I want to fucking be able to service the South Bay. That's why all of my fucking charities and shit, it's all Los Angeles based. I think, and this goes back to, I think that if everybody just cleaned up their fucking neighborhood and made sure that their neighborhood was clean, then we'd have clean cities. You know, if every city was clean, then we'd have clean states. If every state was clean, then we'd have a clean country. If every country was clean, we're good to go in the world. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the difference there, right? It's like you're doing something what is the intention? The intention is to
I'm not sure.
be able to have,
I'm not sure.
I'm guessing part of the intention is to have these real conversations with your friends, connect with people, and then also
that's my intention.
You know, like,
I just don't know if there's a single one. It's not. It's not influencers and fucking advertisement money. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
So
what the fuck?
I take a lot into account intention, and again, that's where it comes. Like what we talked about earlier. That's why it's really hard for me to just kind of like stick to one person on like YouTube for information or I don't have anyone that I like religiously follow on Instagram, you know, like nothing like that. 'Cause at the end of the day, like, I realize that there's a lot of damage that can do too, is like, is these people have such a platform to speak out about so many things and they're average everyday people. And that's why I don't really push myself, and I'm not in any way strategizing to make myself known in the fitness community. I'm saying, like, if I learn and if I find a way to, like, you know, make, like you said, first your community a better place, or find a way to contribute, like, that's awesome. But
and it'll give you meaningful life, dude.
Yeah.
It's the best gift of the world is the gift of giving.
Yeah.
It gives you purpose, man. You can't trade that shit for anybody. And dude, Christian Landley, one of my best friends, was on here and he was talking about how he wasn't an outside influencer for fucking for outdoors shit. Yeah. He was a I said outdoor influencer. He was an outdoorsman and he was an Instagram influencer, and companies were sending him shit, and he fucking hated it. He hated being in the spotlight. I think there's something to it, man. And I think that you give up, you know, at what cost? We'll see, because all this thing's still so new. Like this Instagram influencer, fucking vaping, all these new fads right now are all new, but we don't know like what's going to happen psychologically to these kids who are, my 11-year-old fucking 9-year-old niece has a fucking cell phone. Dude, 9 years old, bro. And she's got apps down. She's like, quick draw McGraw with her fucking index finger. It's nuts. We don't know, man. This all could be fucking really bad. I think it can
also be very good.
Well, it can be, but that's a lot of responsibility, man. And I don't think everything is carved out for that, dude. I think that, you know, just trying to change the neighborhood, you just trying to be the most helpful in your fucking gym as possible, in hopes that those people go to their work and are as helpful as they are because they caught on to your energy and so forth. And we just reciprocate, because what's important, man, is fucking community. And that's what this podcast... I was
just going to say that. I was literally just going to say that.
And that's what this podcast is all about, man. And that's what the Killed It cult is that we are a cult. We decided enough is enough. There's way too much bullshit going on, man. We're coming back. I'm putting another microphone in the room. We're having one-on-one talks. So I'm having you and Chase on, and we're discussing ideas. I'm having people from all walks of life. Doesn't matter if you fucking use smoke crack or fucking, you know, or climb fucking trees. Like, we're fucking having discussions. We're learning from each other. We're creating a sense of community. Because at the end of the day, man, what's important is making enough money to put a fucking roof over your head, finding fucking purpose, making sure you don't starve, and taking care of each other. That's what's fucking important. You know, that's dude, it's crazy to think that for centuries there was people who would wake up, go work on a fucking farm, made sure that their family got food, and went to bed when the sun went down.
Yeah.
And they lived, man. And that was fucking life, dude. It's at a certain point, we gotta tweak this crazy ass life a little bit to dial it back into this little ways, man, and into the ways where we're off our phone less, we're talking more. You know what I'm saying? We're meeting up in person. We're doing less drugs. You know, we're spending more time with our God-given self. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? With the shit, because we're trippy, man. Like you said, we're just developed bacteria on some fucking planet, bro. You know, fucking sit back and enjoy the ride a little bit.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
Dude, on that fucking note, man, we just did fucking 2 hours, brother.
No way.
That was it, dude. Yeah. That shit happens quick, huh?
Yeah.
Way
it was
quick.
great, dude.
Dude, this is one of the most powerful podcasts we've done in a long time, dude. I really appreciate you coming on and doing this.
Yeah, of course, man. It was fun.
Any fucking anything that you want to chime in on about your number one, everybody go follow fucking David right now. This brilliant young man. d.valencia_fit. He's training for a powerlifting competition next year.
Yeah.
And why not throughout your journey, why don't you keep coming back on to the podcast and we'll keep track on it. You're an excellent fucking conversationalist, and that was beyond fun, dude. I appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah,
no
problem. If you can fucking believe it, I have another fucking big boy coming through. He's much more he's like an actual fucking weightlifter, like trying to like be, I think he's trying to go Olympian or something. We'll find out.
No way.
Yeah, we'll find out his deal. But
I'll be tuning in.
Yeah,
man. That's awesome.
He's coming on Friday. Shout out Samba. But yeah, tomorrow, this month, I'm trying to carve my way into only doing podcasts on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday.
Okay.
That way, it give me time to go be a fucking boyfriend and go do the things that I love doing. So, yeah. Anything else you want to chime in before we get the fuck up out of here, man?
No. If anybody was interested and tuned in and wants to go ahead and follow me along my journey, yeah, I'd love to talk to anyone, help anybody. I honestly, I'm very much open to answering questions all the time about anything. Like, I just like conversation. And
that's the fucking that's the truth, and that's why we got to keep coming you having back. Derek, I appreciate you chiming in with your fucking comments. Let's read these real quick. SM Marketing Basic are posting quality content consistently, strategizing your tags, and interacting with the people you're trying to reach. All other tools just to help boost the amount of eyeballs looking at it. It's up to your interaction and content. See, that's already too complicated for me.
Well, quality doesn't have to mean professionally shot, just that it's relevant to those who you want to attract. So I think I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I think what he's trying to say is all the smoke and mirrors and all that bullshit, like that's not a genuine way to get to people, you know, and that's not a genuine way to help people. Is you just gotta be vulnerable, show yourself, show your journey, and then just do things the way that they're happening, I guess.
Keep this shit 100.
It's probably a better way to have said that.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Knuckles, dude. I fucking love you guys. Derek, thanks for tuning in. And David, I will always love you, brother. Thanks for coming through, dude.
Love you too, man.
Peace out. Fuck yeah, dude. That was fucking rad.